guys, welcome to another video. Don't mind me, I look a little bit different today. I was caught up in a photo shoot, long story. My eyelashes are probably going to fall off by the end of this video. Just thought I'd pop online and talk to you about foundations, the numbers and the coding on foundations and what they mean exactly, and it might help you find your own foundation shade. If you want more information on how to pick the right foundation for you, then check out my other videos because there's loads and loads and loads of stuff on the topics. There's also one on concealers, different types of foundations and that kind of thing. So let's get on with it. When you look at your foundation, your bottle foundation, your box of foundation, however it comes, you will notice that underneath the shade name or above the shade name, there will be a code, and it will consist usually of two numbers and a letter. So I'm going to explain to you what they mean, and it might help you kind of when you need to sort of adjust your foundation shades, look for a similar foundation shade, for example. Normally there are only sort of like three letters that make up all the codes. There are brands that do it a little bit differently, but the majority of brands tend to stick to this type of coding, and the three letters include a N for neutral, and that means like a neutral skin tone, someone that can wear both sort of warm and cool or yellow and pink based foundations. The C is for cool, so that would mean like the pinker tones, and the W is usually for warm, which is like the yellower tones. So now we just need to know whether we are cool, neutral or warm, which sort of foundations we can wear. To play it safe, if you're not sure, neutral is always a good one to go for, but if you do know if you're cool or warm, then that can be like so much better at shade matching. So let's talk about the numbers. The first number is usually kind of like the basic categories. So the fair, so 1 would be fair, 2 would be light, 3 would be sort of darker, medium, light to medium, 4 might be like medium, things like that. So it goes up. So if you want a lighter shade, you need to go for a lower number. And then the final number is usually just like the number of different shades that the company have. So for example, their lightest shade would be like I may have one, yeah, like here we go. Laura Mercier have 1N0, and that's vanilla ivory. So basically we are looking at number 1, which means it is the fairest, and N, it's neutral, it's suitable for neutral skins who are fair, and 0 means it is literally the lightest shade that they do. There's another one here. This is by Estee Lauder. This is actually my own personal shade, and it is 1C1. So we have the fair shade, so we're in the fair category, which is the number 1, and we're a cool tone, which is C, and then we have number 1, which is the lowest in the cool tone, or the lightest in the cool tone. They may have a 0 or a 0, whatever you want to call it. I'm not sure, but this is one of the lightest, if not the lightest, because that's number 1. Now there's another one from Laura Mercier here, and it is 2N2. Now that means, I don't know if you can see it, if it'll focus. So that means we're moving on up the categories. So we're no longer in the fair category, we're in the light category, which is a bit warmer. And we are N, we are neutral, and we're number 2. So in their light category, this is not the lightest, this is kind of number 2 in the category. So we don't know whether the lightest is going to be a 0 or a 1, but this certainly isn't the lightest, but it's also not the darkest in the category either, because that number can be endless depending on how many different colours that the company wants to release. So that's some of the lower numbers. If you're darker skinned, you're most likely to have a much higher number. So you can be anything from like a 4N, a 4C, a 4W to, I don't know, anything up to maybe like a 7, a 7C, a 7W, a 7N, that kind of thing. And then obviously you just have those tones. So you have whatever tones that the company decide to make as your N number. You could either go for a lighter tone for darker skin, or you can go for a darker tone for darker skin. same with the light skins. And that can be great if you are trying to pick like a summer shade, for example, which ideally would be like maybe 2 shades darker than your palest shade. So for example, in the summer, if I'm a 1 cool 1, in the summer I might try and stick to the fairest category, and maybe the cool or the neutral, because I can wear both, but let's keep it simple. So I might pick the fairest category and the cool, but I might go up by 2 numbers. So I might look at getting, instead of a 1, maybe getting a 2 or 3 from the number 1 fair, cool, number 3, for example. That might be what I get from my summer tone. Or I may pick something warmer for a summer tone. So I may choose like still a fair category, but I may go for a W and maybe just go for a 1. So maybe just go up 1 in the letters category. So if you understand how the coding works, then it's a lot easier to pick your foundation shade. So for example, if someone came to me like on a photo shoot and they were a warm, then I would look at the warm foundations, and I would look at how sort of light they are and how dark they are in the warm scale, and then I would be able to grab a foundation based on the code, or grab a couple of the foundations and test them on their skin. So if you know the coding, which I've just explained, feel free to go back and play it all again if you didn't quite catch it. But the C is for cool, the N is for neutral, the W is for warm. If you don't work in cool and warms and you work in yellows and pinks, it's basically the cool is the pink tones in your skin and the yellow is the warm tones. So if you are a pink skin person or a yellow skin person, you want to go for one of those. But pretty much everyone can wear neutral. It's not going to be the perfect match, but if you are and ahhing between the two, you may want to just try neutral. Obviously the lower the number, the lower the first number, the fairer it is, and the lower the second number, the lighter it is. So I hope that helps a little bit. I hope I haven't confused you too much. I'm going to simplify this with some editing. Okay, so now we got that out of the way, let's find out how we then check those shades. What we want to do is we want to do a patch test to check that that matches our skin. Now, I'm going to do some patch testing, and it may look a bit odd because I have a lot of makeup on already. I'm going to remove just a little patch so that you can see. So once you've picked a couple of shades, let's say I'm choosing between, here we go. This is a light 0, which is extremely light. This is a 1 neutral 0, and this is a 1 cool 1. Okay, so I'm going to do a patch test because they're very similar, slightly different. I'm going to do a patch test so that you guys can see how this works. So I picked 3 shades based on the coded system that I could be. And obviously I know who I am. I know I'm the fair cool, but we're going to pretend I don't. I have the fair cool, I have the neutral cool, and I have the light. And then we want to swatch them on our face and our neck so that we can see what they look like on the skin. One thing that I need to note is that the face and the chest can be very flushed, and that's why we do a swatch on the cheek and down so that we can try and get that realistic match. Doing it on the face is just not enough because you could be flushed after sports and things like that. You don't really want to do it on the chest because the chest can be flushed. This is where your heart is. This is where your heat center is. I'm just going to do this with my finger. I'm going to take the light, which is the darker colour because it's not fair, and I'm going to swatch it. I'm just going to do a stripe all the way down. So let's do the neutral fair. You wouldn't really usually want to swatch this much. Okay, and now I'm going to wear the Now I'm going to swatch the Fair Cool. Okay. Wow. As you can see, they are extremely similar colours. I mean, technically all three of these I could wear. I could blend them in and adjust them with bronzers and lightening powders. Right now we have very thick swatches on the neck and we really want to see what they look like blended in. So how we do it, and this is how they do it at Estee Lauder, is you want to get a piece of tissue and you just want to sort of drag it. There's quite a lot on here, so I don't know how successful this is going to be. And then you want to drag it just slightly and down. And then you want to see which one blends in best. So you want to see, is this one in the middle is a lot more yellow. I'm going to swipe it again just underneath because I don't know if it's had enough of a swipe. Okay, so yeah. So the middle one is a lot more yellow. Okay, and I think that's the light. Yeah, that's the light. So the light one is a lot more yellow, so that's not my colour. You can see a bit of this colour. It's very, very, very light. But the Estee Lauder, which is the cool one, you can see a lot of it has almost disappeared into my skin. And that's what you want, because you want something that is like the same colour as your skin, or something that is going to blend. And you might think, well, okay, that's disappeared into your skin, so that's going to be unnoticeable. But what you have to remember, I'm just going to wipe this off. What you have to remember is that makeup is there to accentuate your features and to perfect the beauty that you already have. So if you think, why would I apply this foundation colour that just sinks into my skin and disappears? Think about it. When you're hot and sweaty, what you want to do is you want to cover up the redness. You want to cover up the blemishes. You want to cover up the red marks and the scars. You don't want to look like you've painted your face. Okay, so when you apply the foundation, yes, it disappears. This is disappearing on the skin that is already the same colour. But in the areas underneath where, and I do have makeup on the rest of my face, but on the areas where when I don't have makeup, it covers up the redness, it covers up the spots, it covers up any dark circles. You know, that is what foundation is for. So if you think, oh, it's the same colour, it covers up all these things as well while being the same colour as your skin. So it makes your skin one even colour, and that is what you want from a foundation. Like I said, you do not want to like you've just painted your face. So don't be put off by the fact that the foundation is exactly the same colour if you're doing swatches. That is what you want. Don't try and get a darker one to warm your skin tone up. Don't try and get a lighter one to make you paler. You can do this with other products. If you want warmer skin, then you just get a good bronzer. Make it look natural with a bronzer. Warm up with a bit of powder. Don't go putting a product on your skin like a foundation, a base, which is going to make you look orange or like a ghost, make you look ill. I hope you found this useful. So we've talked a bit about the coding, and so that should help you find your different shades throughout the year, or give you some indication enough so that you can swatch 2 or 3 or 4 different foundations on your face so that you can pick your own colour. Don't forget, there's usually someone at beauty counters that can also help you and do the swatching for you. And I will be talking about different types of foundations in another video, such as, you know, the cream foundations, the powder foundations, the tinted moisturisers, the BB creams and all that lot. So that will help you to also identify what type of product would suit you. So if you have any questions, drop them in the comments below. If you like this video and find it useful, give me a thumbs up, share, please, because I think it can help some other people. And let me know what shade you are. Let me know which shades you've tested. If you have any difficulty finding shades, let me know and I will help you find the shade for you. I hope you all have a lovely weekend and I will see you in another video.